take a ride into the grid where the future is alive. We're talking about the Web3 revolution, energy systems in a deep and evolution. Yeah, it's a digital symphony, a decentralized energy in the world of connection. Oh, so South is our destination. Web3 fascination. Get ready for the revolution. Here we go.
Welcome to the 19th episode of Source Talk, the podcast where the future of energy unfolds. Source Talk is focused on Web3, Deepin, Degen, Srcful, and everything related. And today we have the bringer of good news with us, our CEO, Fredrik.
Yep.
How are you?
All good. So it's been a good weekend when we had an intern that was in charge of the X account. We'll see how that unfolds.
At least we have three lucky people that appreciated his efforts, since they will be getting a free energy gateway.
Yeah, and there might be more things happening. We'll see. There are some ideas that are cooking, I think so.
Yeah, but that was actually great fun, and I'm guessing that might happen more often in the future. But today we're not here to talk about X. We are here to talk about the good news we have to bring to our community and future community members. And I would actually like to start with the firmware. And we have a new firmware release tomorrow where we'll be adding SunSpec support. Could you tell us a little bit what that means for the end user?
So I can only tell from a high level perspective, not the details. Then we need to bring in David. But SunSpec is protocol, I would say, sort of like Modbus TCP, but not the same. It's something that is sort of a standard. I'm saying sort of because it seems that SunSpec is a little bit different as far as I understand when we have tested it on different inverters, but it's a standard. So lots of inverters are compliant with the SunSpec protocol, which essentially means now when we have SunSpec support on the gateway, we out of the box are probably compliant with many more inverters. I'm not even sure if we have the full picture yet, but it's a really big thing. So you could just check if your inverter is SunSpec compliant, and then it most likely will out of the box be compliant with the new firmware that we release. So this is a big thing.
Yeah, and if it's not out of the box compliant, I'm guessing it will be a lot easier to add support for that actually follows some sort of standard in the end.
Yeah.
But like you said, we don't fully grasp how many inverters actually support SunSpec. But we know that there are a lot. And that I would say is the highlight for the end user. We have done other various optimization and enhancements in this firmware release. And we have moved the config storage from the gateway to the cloud, which is also a really good thing for stability, for instance.
Yeah.
And we also have to talk about, now when we talk about compatibility with different inverters, the API support. A lot of people have been asking about this. What's our stance on this?
Yeah, so I would say this is something that we have internally thought about for a long time. So I would say mainly we started this route because of the, I would say, anti-gaming and verification perspective. But the thing here is that a lot of the inverters out there, batteries, inverters, are already connected. So that is already the case. You have already an application. You might see the solar production in your app that you already have. So what if you're going to build a VPP, it's hard to utilize this because you get a little bit crappier data. It's also not as granular, and you are not able to do any control. So that's why we have the hardware approach. And also we want to be close to the inverter. That means like on the local area network, connect directly and have full control. And this is also a security issue if you look at it from that perspective. But anyhow, we are now opening up API support. And I would say that we are in some way following what Demo is doing. So if you know about the project Demo, which is connecting cars, this is an equivalent route. They also have hardware. They have the macaron or the AutoPie. You can connect your car. If you use the hardware, you will get higher rewards. You will get more data, and you will actually get more use out of the application, the Demo app, and so on. But if your car is connected, if you have a Volvo, if you have a BMW or any other car, you might actually be able to tap into their API of that car. And the same approach will be used by us. So you will actually very soon, if you have a SolarEdge inverter, because that will be the first one, to be able to tap in and connect your inverter via the cloud connection. During this beta program, you will get significant less rewards. The data will be less granular, but we'll start by doing this. And this will also be a way for us to validate. So if you have a gateway and also connect via your API for the same inverter, we get 2 data streams, and we can at least get 2 sources of data that tells the same thing. And in that case, we'll be able to give more rewards because we can trust that it is most likely more true. It's harder to game, at least. So long story short, yes, we are now opening up for API access. This will happen at test scale already this week. And in the next coming weeks, we will onboard users. First will be SolarEdge. And there is a very simple reason, because SolarEdge is easy to integrate. So we'll start with the easy things. But this does not in any way sort of remove the need for a gateway. We will still need that to get the higher level of rewards. But we will be able to onboard significantly more users to the network. And that's a good thing.
And I would say also, going the API approach, if you live nearby someone else who actually has a energy gateway, that would be beneficial for us as well, because that could also, now we have 3 data streams from the same area. So that works for anti-gaming as well.
Yeah.
So tell your family and neighbors that live nearby, because that would actually be good for you and for us.
Yeah.
So that's the first good news we have today. And now we're going to talk about something that people pretty much ask us about each and every day, and have been for the last 2 months or so.
Yeah. So
gateways.
Exactly. So this might have been a mistake. You never know the right route, because we were a little bit reluctant on letting people order, I would say, the first Solaris batch of the gateway. We had a plan. We'll release a smaller batch, and then we will go and write the helium integration and focus on dual mining. And then we didn't want them to end up with loads of hardware that we needed to support, which were like without a LoRaWAN concentrator and compliant with dual mining. So that was the reasoning. Maybe this was not the best way, but that was the reasoning. So, but yeah, we are now opening up the store. It should happen, hopefully when we publish this episode, or maybe even before. If not, it will be slightly after. So, but like today or tomorrow. But that's absolutely the plan. And Rock Wireless will be the first manufacturer, and they will open up the store, so you will be able to buy an energy gateway. And to be very clear now, this is a dual mining gateway. So from the hardware side, it is a 100% an IoT hotspot, a Rock version 2 hotspot, or a minted hotspot. That's the brand they use. But the difference here is that you can buy it directly from Rock Wireless, and you will have the beta firmware already loaded onto the gateway. That means that this will be, at this moment, the only way to sort of guarantee your way into the beta program. The other way would be if you already own a Rock hotspot. You go into poweruphelium.com and apply for the beta program. But then you'll have to wait until we release the dual mining firmware, which will be, as I believe, mid-October. But if you don't have any gateway and you want to join directly, you can go in, you can buy this IoT hotspot with the beta firmware loaded. And this is at this very moment a single mining firmware, so it will be just an energy hotspot. But in just a couple of weeks, it will be automatically upgraded to dual mining. So we'll take care about that. It will be an automatic update. And also, it is still an IoT hotspot. So regardless of what happens, you can always flash it with like an IoT hotspot firmware from Rock, and it will be a 100% IoT hotspot. So from the hardware side, it's just a way to actually onboard yourself into the beta program, and we can keep that at I would say a good pace from our side. So the links will most likely be distributed from our X, and I guess that Rock Wireless will distribute them as well. But the best way would probably be to go into poweruphelium.com, and we'll add all information, both about joining the beta program if you already own a hotspot, or if you want to buy a new one. We'll add the links at that place.
Worth noting also, if you buy one now, there's pretty much a month until mid-October, a little bit more. You will still get the beta rewards for the single mining as well. So this is a good time actually to get on board and get your beta rewards.
Yes, and I know that people are asking all the time about other manufacturers than Rock Wireless. There will be more manufacturers. We already are working with a partner which is not Rock Wireless. I'm not sure if I'm able to tell something at this point, but there will be more. But we require the manufacturers to actually work together with us. We cannot and will not support all the different hardware manufacturer like firmwares out there. So we need to have like a partnership of some kind. So that's why we have started with Rock. They have partnered with us from start, and they have a little bit of I would say. They're a little bit ahead here. And it's the reason that why we chose to work with Rock Wireless also. It's a very stable gateway. It has, I would say, proved to be a very, very good IoT hotspot. And it's also powerful enough to do dual mining.
But like you said, and I'm going to go a little bit on a limb here. As you said, we need some sort of partnership. So for those of you asking about Bobcats, I'm guessing that's somewhat out of the question because they don't really support their own hardware anymore, from what I understand at least.
Yeah, and I think it's not I would say it is still possible to do like Bobcat, but then some other party which is not us, maybe there is a provider that starts to distribute firmware which supports Bobcat, and they take responsibility, and I guess many of these things will happen automatically, and we already, so don't worry, it will come, but we won't be able to do everything at once. I hope you understand us.
And from what I've seen, we have a very supportive and understanding community. So, but yeah, that's the second good news. So let's talk Singapore. It's closing up.
It's closing up, yeah. So already in a week, parts of the team, me and our CTO Tobias will be there a little bit earlier. Will be at the token 2049 as well. And then the full team will actually join in for Breakpoint. So you will be able to meet everyone in the Srcful team during Breakpoint in Singapore. So I think the first event will be the Founders Day on Tuesday. I will present there. And I would say mainly it will be a little bit too many side events perhaps, but one side event which we are organizing together with Arc Green and PowerPod and Daylight and D-Charge is the Energy or DGen event, and that is on Thursday. That you should definitely sign up for if you're listening into this and if you're in Singapore. I would say that would be our main event. If you're interested in the energy space, you will be able to meet up more than our project. I mean, Daylight is also a big project in the US that is doing similar things as us, and Arc Green the same thing in Asia. So that would be for sure be super interesting if you're into this space. But I guess that you'll probably do yet another episode, which will be like a Singapore special episode before you go. Might even be episodes from Singapore. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will also drop the link to our co-hosted event. And from what I've seen, we will, in some form or another, be present at pretty much all Deepin events during this week. Yeah. So if you're there, just drop by and chat with us, because that would be really fun. I will also drop you a link to our event and all other events we're going to attend, probably mostly on Discord and X, so you won't miss us. And with that said, I think we can actually wrap this. This was going to be like a short community update with good news, so let's keep it that way. And now you'll have to join in on our little awkward outro thingy here. Yeah. Now it's your turn to be me. So remember, your energy,
your power.
Step into the neon lights. Let's take a ride into the gray where the future is alive. We're talking loud. The Web3 revolution, energy systems in a deep evolution. Yeah. Digital symphony, a decentralized energy in the world of connection. Oh, so stock is our destination. Web3 fascination. Get ready for the revolution. Here we go.